Hi dear friends, how are you all? Welcome to our YouTube channel HR Tutors India. In this video, we'll be discussing about another important statutory compliance, that is the Payment of Wages Act 1936. What is Payment of Wages Act? Before getting into the video, let us understand the definition of Payment of Wages Act 1936. The Payment of Wages Act 1936 was introduced to address a crucial need in the Indian labor system, the timely payment of wages to workers. This law was enacted to regulate how wages are paid to certain categories of employees, ensuring they are not subjected to unnecessary delays or unauthorized deductions by their employers. This act provides a clear and structured legal framework that outlines the procedures, timeframes, and methods for the disbursement of wages to employees. Its primary focus is to protect workers by setting rules that employees must follow when it comes to paying wages. Whether you are an employer managing wage payments or an employee looking to understand your rights, this act plays a crucial role in ensuring fairness and transparency in the wage related matters. Objectives of Payment of Wages Act. Now let's understand the key objectives of Payment of Wages Act 1936. This act was designed to address several important areas concerning the wages of workers. Let's break down the main objectives. Timely payment. This act ensures that employees receive their wages on time without unnecessary delays. It mandates that employers stick to a specific timeline for paying wages, helping workers plan and manage their finances without worry. Protection from unjust deductions. Another vital objective is to prevent employers from making unauthorized deductions from employee wages. This act clearly defines what kind of deductions are permissible and prohibits any unfair practices. Legal framework. This act provides a clear and standardized legal framework that lays out both the rights of employees and the obligations of employers when it comes to paying wages. It creates a structure that both parties can rely on, promoting transparency. Standardization. Lastly, this act brings uniformity across industries by regulating payment terms, timings, and wage calculations. This ensures that the rules are clear and consistent, which benefits both employees and employers. The objectives helps clarify the purpose and importance of this act in protecting workers' rights and ensuring transparency. Key definitions of Payment of Wages Act. In order to fully understand how the Payment of Wages Act 1936 works, it's important to get familiar with some key definitions used in this act. Let's go through these important terms. Wages. The term wages refers to any form of payment made to employees for their work. This includes not only the basic salary but also allowances, bonuses, and other forms of income tied to the employment. Especially any remuneration related to work comes under the categories of wages. Employee. An employee under this act is defined broadly. It includes anyone working in any industry, whether they are doing skilled or unskilled labor, manual work, supervisory, clerical, or technical tasks. So it covers a wide range of workers. Employer. An employer is the person who is responsible for paying wages to the employees. This can also be defined or extended to the legal representatives of a deceased employer if they are responsible for wage payments. Wage period. The wage period is the time interval after which wages are paid. According to the Act, this period cannot exceed 1 month. So, employers are required to pay wages at least once a month to their employees. Applicability of Payment of Wages Act. Now let's talk about the applicability of Payment of Wages Act 1936. This act primarily covers employees earning below a certain amount threshold. The exact wage limit changes periodically as per the government guidelines. So it's important to stay updated to their limits. This wage cap ensures that the Act protects lower and middle class workers. The Act applies to workers employed in specific industries like railways, factories, industrial establishments, plantations, and similar sectors. It is designed to ensure that employees in these fields receive wages without any unauthorized deductions or delays. The Act applies across both public and private sectors, making sure that the wage rules are uniformly followed whether the employee is a government or private organization. The Act applies to establishments where 20 or more employees are engaged. This threshold helps in ensuring that larger business or industries with a significant workforce follows proper wage practices. Benefits of Payment of Wages Act. Now let's explore the benefits of Payment of Wages Act 1936 for both employees and employers. For employers, clarity in payment obligations. The Payment of Wages Act helps employers clearly understand their legal responsibilities regarding wage disbursement. This clarity allows them to manage their payroll effectively and avoid confusion. Legal compliance. By adhering to the provisions of this Act, employers can avoid penalties associated with non-compliance. Following this Act not only helps them to stay within the legal boundaries but also fosters good labor relations with their employees. For employees, assured timely payments. This Act guarantees that employees receive their wages on time, can manage their finances effectively without unnecessary delays. This assurance contributes to their overall financial security. Legal resource. One of the significant advantages of the employees is the legal resource available to them. If there are any delays in payments or unauthorized deductions, employees have the right to raise grievance and seek redressal through the legal framework provided by the Act. Protection from exploitation. This act serves as shield for workers, protecting them from unlawful wage cuts or unfair labor practices. This ensures that employees are treated fairly and receive their remuneration they rightfully deserve for their work. These benefits underscore the importance of Payment of Wages Act in promoting a fair and equitable work environment for both employees and employers. Rules of payment under Payments of Wages Act. Now let's discuss the rules regarding payment of wages stipulated in the Payment of Wages Act 1936. These rules are essential for ensuring employees are paid their wages in a timely and fair manner. Timely payment of wages. Payment timeline. According to this act, wages must be paid on time, especially for monthly wages. If an establishment has fewer than 1000 workers, wages must be paid within 7 days of the end of the wage period, and for the establishments with more than 1000 workers, period extends to 10 days. Mode of payment. Direct payment to employees. Employers are required to pay wages directly to the employee. This can be done through cash, check, or bank transfer as agreed upon between the employer and employees. Claiming delayed wages. Filing a claim. If wages are not paid on time, employees have the right to take action. They can file a claim with the appropriate authorities to seek redressal for any delays or non-payment. These rules are designed to protect the rights of employees and ensure that they receive their wages promptly and through the agreed upon methods. Deductions under Payment of Wages Act. Now let's talk about the deduction permissible under the Payment of Wages Act 1936. The Act outlines specific situations where deductions from the employee's wages are allowed. Here is a breakdown of those allowable deductions. Provident Fund contribution. Deductions can be made for contributions to the Provident Fund, which is a retirement savings scheme designed to benefit of employers after their working years. Advance repayment. If an employee has taken a salary advance, the employer can deduct a agreed amount from their wages to repay their advance. Income tax deductions. Employers also permitted to deduct income tax from the wages to meet the statutory obligations. This ensures compliance with the government's tax regulations. Fines for misconduct. This act allows for deductions in the form of fines imposed for acts of misconduct. However, it's important to note that these fines must be communicated to the employees in advance. Absenteeism deductions. Deductions can also occur due to unauthorized leave or absence from duty. This serves a way to ensure accountability among employees. Deductions for amenities. Finally, employers can deduct payments for amenities such as housing, food, and other services provided to the employees. This ensures that the employees are contributed to the cost of services they are receiving. Understanding these permissible deductions helps employees to know that what to expect regarding their wage calculations. This also ensures that the employers are adhering to the legal framework set forth by this act. Fines and penalties under Payment of Wages Act. Now let's discuss about the fines and penalties for non-compliance with the Payment of Wages Act 1936. This act is designed to ensure that employees receive their wages on time and without unauthorized deductions. However, if employees fails to comply with these provisions, they may face serious consequences. Here is an overview of fines and penalties imposed for non-compliance. Fines. Initial violations. Employers who do not adhere to Act regulations are subjected to fines ranging from 200 rupees to 2000 rupees for the first violation. This serves as a warning and encourages compliance. Repeat offences. If an employer commits subsequent violations, the penalties increase significantly. Repeat offenders may face fines up to 5000 rupees and potentially imprisonment for up to 6 months. This is a strong deterrent against continued non-compliance. interest on delayed payments. Additionally, if the employer delays wage payments, they may be required to pay interest to the overdue wages. This ensures that the employees are compensated not only for their work but also for the inconvenience caused by the late payments. It's crucial for both employees and employers to understand these fines and penalties. Employees must ensure compliance to avoid these financial and legal repercussions, while employees must and should be aware of their rights and protections afforded to them under this Act. Mode of payment under Payment of Wages Act. Let's discuss the mode of payment outlined in the Payment of Wages Act 1936. This act establishes clear guidelines for how wages should be disbursed to employees and ensuring transparency and security in the payment process. Here is the key points regarding the mode of payment. Employers have several options for paying wages. Wages must be paid in one of the following ways. Direct cash payments are permitted, allowing for immediate receipt of wages by the employee. Payments can be done through checks, which provide a record of the transaction. And additionally, employers can use bank transfer, which is becoming a popular method in today's digital age. The Act allows for electronic mode of payment, which ensures that the wages are transferred safely on time. This method not only specifies the payment process but also enhances security of both employers and employees. Employers are required to maintain accurate records of wages payments. This documentation is essential for future references and provides a clear audit trail. It helps ensures accountability and protects both parties in case of any discrepancies or disputes regarding the wage payments. In summary, the Payment of Wages Act mandates that employers provide wages through reliable methods, ensuring that employees receive their payments promptly and securely. Proper record keeping is essential to uphold the integrity of the wage disbursement process. Prohibition of unauthorized deductions under Payment of Wages Act. Now let's talk about the crucial aspect of Payment of Wages Act 1936, that is the provision of unauthorized deductions. This section of Act is designed to protect employees from unfair wage practices and ensures that they receive their full earnings. Here are the key points regarding this prohibition. Explicit prohibition. The Act explicitly prohibits employers from making any deductions from employees' wages unless such deductions are authorized under this Act or by the law. This means the employers must adhere strictly to the guidelines set forth in this Act when it comes to deducting wages. Types of unauthorized deductions. Under unauthorized deductions for various reasons are strictly prohibited. These may include services not rendered. Employees cannot deduct wages for services which have not been provided or completed. Loss of profit. Employers are not allowed to deduct wages for losses that are not directly related to the employee's performance or misconduct. Unproven damages. Any deductions made for the damages or losses that are unproven or unsubstantiated are considered unauthorized. Employees have the right to dispute any unauthorized deductions from their wages. If an employee believes that a deduction has been made unlawfully, they can appeal to the relevant authorities. This Act is crucial as it provides employees with a mechanism to seek redress and ensures that employers are held accountable for their actions. In conclusion, the Payment of Wages Act protects employees by prohibiting unauthorized deductions, thereby safeguarding their right to receive fair compensation for their work. Employees should be aware of these rights under this Act and feel empowered to challenge any deductions that they believe are unjust. Employees' obligation under Payment of Wages Act. Now delve into employers' obligations under the Payments of Wages Act 1936. It is essential for the employers to understand their responsibilities to ensure compliance with this Act and foster a fair workplace. Here are the key obligations that every employer must adhere to. Timely payment. One of the foremost obligations of employers is to ensure that the wages are paid on time, as specified by this Act. It means that the employers must adhere to the stipulated timelines of wage disbursement, which promotes fairly financial stability for employees and helps maintain their trust in the organization. Correct deductions. Employers are responsible for making only authorized deductions from employees' wages as outlined in the provisions of this Act. It includes deductions for the things like provident fund contributions or advance repayments, but employers must refrain from making any unauthorized deductions that could harm employees financially. Maintain records. The Act ensures employers to maintain detailed records of wages, payments, deductions, and other wage-related information. This documentation is crucial not only for compliance purposes but also for transparency and accountability. Proper record keeping helps in resolving any potential disputes and provides evidence in case of legal scrutiny. Dispute resolution. In the event of any wage disputes, employers have the obligations to address them promptly. This means if an employee raises a concern regarding their wages, the employer should take it seriously and respond swiftly. If the issue cannot be resolved internally, employers must refer a matter to the appropriate authorities for resolution. By fulfilling all these obligations, employers not only comply with the Payment of Wages Act but also contribute to a positive work environment. Ensuring timely payment, making correct deductions, maintaining proper records, and addressing disputes can lead to a better employee-employee relations and enhance overall workplace morale. Employees' rights under Payment of Wages Act. Now let's discuss the employees' rights under the Payment of Wages Act 1936. Understanding these rights is essential for every employee as they form the foundation of fair treatment in the workplace. Here are the key rights guaranteed to employees under this act. Right to timely payment. Employees have the right to receive their full wages on or before the specified payment date. This provision ensures that employees are financially secure and can plan their personal finances accordingly. Right to full payment. Employees are entitled to be paid their full wages without any unauthorized deductions. This means that the employers cannot deduct any amount from wages unless it is permitted by this act or legally authorized. This right protects the employees from any potential exploitation and ensures that they receive their fair compensation for their work. Right to appeal. If employees believe that their wages have been withheld, delayed, or unjustly deducted, they have the right to file a complaint with the appropriate authorities. This process ensures that the employees have a platform to voice their grievances and seek redressal, hereby safeguarding their interests. Right to compensate for delay. In the event of delayed payments, employees are entitled to compensation, including the interest on the due amount. This right acts as a safeguard against any unnecessary financial distress caused by the employer's failure to pay on time. The Payment of Wages Act 1936 empowers employees by ensuring timely payment, full remuneration without unauthorized deductions, the right to appeal, and compensation for any delays. By understanding and addressing these rights, employees can protect themselves and advocate for their fair treatment in the workplace. Complaints Checklist. Payment of Wages Act. In this section, we will go over a vital complaints checklist for both employers and employees concerning the Payment of Wages Act 1936. Ensuring complaints not only fosters a better work environment but also helps in avoiding legal complications. For employers, ensure compliance with statutory regulations. Employers must adhere to all statutory regulations related to wage payment. This includes understanding and implementing the provisions of Payment of Wages Act to avoid penalties and legal issues. Maintain updated wage records. Keeping accurate and updated wage records is essential. Employers should document detailed wage disbursement, including deductions and the reasons for those deductions. This practice ensures transparency and accountability in wage payments. Inform employees about their rights. It is crucial for the employers to communicate to their employees about their rights under this act, including how wages will be paid. This education empowers employees and promotes a culture of openness and trust. Address grievance promptly. Employees must and should have a clear process of addressing wage-related grievances. Prompt resolution of complaints can prevent escalation and minimize the risk of legal complications. For employees, keep records of wages. Employees should maintain personal records of their wages, including payslips and any deductions made. Regularly checking these records can help in identifying unauthorized deductions and ensure transparency. Be aware of wage disbursement timelines. Understanding these timelines for wage disbursement is crucial. Employees should be vigilant and report any delays in payments to the appropriate authorities to ensure timely compliance. Understand permissible deductions. Employees should be and must be aware of the deductions allowed under this act. If there are any unjust deductions or discrepancies, they should raise their concerns immediately. File complaints when necessary. If wages are not paid in accordance with this law, employees have the right to file complaints with the relevant authorities. Knowing the proper channels to escalate issues is essential for enforcing these rights. By adhering to this checklist, benefits both employers and employees. Employers can avoid legal issues and maintain good labor relations, while the employees can ensure that they are treated fairly and receive their entitled wages on time. Understanding these responsibilities and rights is the key to a harmonious workplace. The Payment of Wages Act 1936 is a crucial piece of legislation that protects employees' rights to timely and fully payment of wages. It ensures fair treatment by employers and offers legal resource in case of unjust deductions or delays in the wage payments. By providing a clarity on the wage related issues, this act fosters a healthier employer-employer relationship, ensure compliance with labor laws, and also promotes a protective work environment. Compliance with the provisions of this act is essential for both employers and employees to maintain a harmonious and fair workplace. So friends, hope you understood in detail about the statutory complaints, that is Payment of Wages Act 1936. If you have any questions or queries related to this video, please do comment in the comment section. I'll be happy enough to answer all the queries. And if you like this video, please do subscribe and share among your friends. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.